Let's dive into the mesmerizing world of credit card rewards. You know those shiny promises of free flights and cashback that seems too good to be true? Well, stick around because we're about to uncover the not so glamorous truth behind credit card points that the fancy ads conveniently leave out. So let's break it down. You've got your trusty credit card in hand, right? But this isn't just any credit card. It's your secret weapon armed with the power of rewards. Imagine every time you make a purchase, you're not just buying stuff, you're building up a treasure chest full of points waiting to be unleashed. It's like a game, a challenge to outsmart the system and score big. With every swipe, you're not just buying that latte or those shoes, you're inching closer to that breathtaking beachfront resort, that jaw-dropping mountain view, and that bustling, vibrant city you've always dreamt of exploring. Now here's where the magic kicks in. The more you spend, the more points you accumulate. These points aren't just digits on a screen. They're your personal currency to unlock experiences you never even dared dream of. Well, in order to win this game and get the highest rewards, we need to first understand and follow the rules. So firstly, having just 1 or 2 credit cards won't cut it anymore. Some people have 7 to 10 and some even have up to 50 credit cards at one time. The motive is to increase the volume of points by increasing the number of accounts which give you these points. By having multiple accounts and being very patient for those hefty sign-up bonuses, you can potentially rack up a lot of points with minimal effort. Getting these multiple credit cards might not be that difficult, but while doing so, we need to be really careful and understand policies on when and how they will charge you to use these credit cards. 50% of the game is won when you sign up for the account. If you understand certain details before you sign up, like annual fees, interest rates, and reward categories, it's more likely that you will be able to use your knowledge to get the maximum advantage possible. Now the day has come, you open your mailbox and there is the shiny credit card you've been waiting for all along. Now it's time to use all the knowledge you gained about your card and start piling up those points. Some of the most common things to look out for are the sign-up bonuses. Some credit card companies offer massive incentives for us to even start using their card. It's their way of getting new customers and it's our first key to success. The secret is to be patient and apply for the card when the company has a big sign-up bonus offer going on. And this alone can result in you getting months and months worth of points in just a couple of weeks. So now that you have started to use these cards, it's very important to be aware of how and where we are spending our money. A lot of cards award higher bonuses if you use them for a certain transaction like paying bills or buying groceries. By spreading your spending on different cards who give you higher bonuses in certain categories, you can get a lot more rewards compared to spending it all just on one card. After spending the money, the next time you get something in mail about that card would be the monthly bill. I know it's not going to be a happy day, but it's one of the most important rules of this game. Pay it all in full every month. Yeah, you heard me correctly. I know it's easier said than done, especially because this game is not that fair. We are trying to win against these multi-billion-dollar companies and banks who spend millions, if not billions every year on marketing these pieces of plastics to us. They have used every trick in the book to make us believe that we are getting rewarded to spend our own money. Because they know as life goes on, something or another might force our hand to not being able to pay these bills in full. And there is no easy way out of this trap as it requires budgeting and tremendous amount of self-control on your spending. But if you can overcome that massive hurdle, you can be one of the few people who get to live that dream life for free. Now there lies the million-dollar question. How can these companies make billions every year while giving away all these sweet rewards for free? And the secret they don't tell us in those commercials is something called as interchange fee. Imagine you are at a party and there's an event planner whose job is to make sure everyone's enjoying themselves. In the world of payments, that middleman is the interchange fees. It's like a tiny slice being taken out from the payment pie that the credit card companies collect whenever you make a transaction. Think of it like as a thank you to them for bringing your credit card to the party. But how does this fee actually work? Well, when you swipe your card, a chain reaction starts. Your bank talks to the merchant's bank and they exchange funds to make the magic happen. This exchange of money, data, and security measures isn't free. The interchange fee helps cover the cost of this complex dance. On the upside, these fees keep the payment system running smoothly and they fund all the nifty features we love like credit card reward programs, fraud protection, and even those fancy credit card designs. On the flip side, the merchants might grumble about these fees cutting into their profits. And guess what? These costs can sometimes be passed on to you, the customer, by increasing the cost of goods enough to pay the interchange fees. You can be a customer of a local bakery or a global retail giant. Both of those places use credit cards, but their interchange fees aren't exactly the same. Smaller businesses might have a different fee scale, often lower, to support their growth. Meanwhile, the giants might see higher fees because, well, they are giants with bigger transactions and higher risks. Although some giants are big enough to make up their own deals and restrict what type of cards you can use at their stores. They limit the competition for these credit card companies in their stores, and in return, they make a deal for a lower interchange fee. So you can win this so-called game, and they will keep funding your winnings with these points because that will only turn these winners into advocates of this system. The system where the average American who doesn't have the proper financial knowledge on how to use these credit cards will get involved in the game and end up with a balance and pay high interest rates like 20 to 30%. So unless people are really careful on every aspect of the system, this can turn into a major financial problem, which turns out is true for a lot of us, as the average American has a credit card balance of over $3,000. From the perspective of a single person, this might not look like much, but on the scale of a country, it adds up. It adds up to these institutions making $120 billion a year while only spending about $35 billion in rewards. They make nearly 4 times the amount of money they give out in points. Banks making a fortune from our spending habits, it's not the end of the problem. We all at one point or another had to manage bills, groceries, and everything else on a limited income. And suddenly comes an unexpected expense like your car breaking down. Credit cards in these situations can be like a superhero coming in to save the day. They offer a sense of financial security when money is tight, and they even provide a way to build your credit history. While credit cards can feel like a lifeline, they also come with a double-edged sword. For low-income Americans, it's essential to recognize that relying on your credit cards too much can lead into a cycle of debt. Interest rates, fees, and minimum payments can quickly pile up, making it tough to escape that debt trap. Unfortunately, in these situations with limited income and limited financial knowledge, often people end up paying a bigger amount of their income in credit card interests and fees. Now, this creates a moral dilemma. The credit card points are partially being funded by the profits made by these companies from the average American who is struggling to pay their bills. That's why people like Dave Ramsey and his team, which I would like to think have a good grip on their finances, refuse to take part in the credit card game altogether. Dave Ramsey is famously known for being polar opposite than the typical American on the use of credit cards, and he is a huge advocate of using his debit card for all purchases. These debit cards will of course kick you out of the credit card points game. However, you will have the peace of mind about never going into credit card debt and the moral high ground of not taking part in this rigged game who is unfair to the people who are struggling with their finances. Regardless of your decision on credit cards or debit cards, I think we can all agree that us funding this game by paying tremendous amounts in interest every year on top of the invisible interchange fees makes this game of credit card rewards anything but free. Let me know in the comments below on what are your thoughts on this system of rewards and fees. Hope you enjoyed the video and consider subscribing.